have this extremely deep desire to share. But I also have this really gnarly clench in my heart. So there's like this inner conflict in my body happening where I have all this kundalini energy, all this sexual energy, life force that wants to pour through and just create content. But I have a heart that's just in deep clench, in deep contraction. And this heart doesn't feel safe, you know? It doesn't feel safe to share. It doesn't feel safe, period. And it's through a lot of decisions I've made in the past where I created a lot of pain in that center. But that pain has helped me wed even deeper into my own heart to where I'm super deeply connected now, more than I've ever been. But it does make it hard because there is this sense like I want to wait for the heart. But at the same time, I'm like gonna explode with energy, you know? And, you know, I've gotten really into yoga recently as a way to move the energy because I wasn't making videos. You know, so there's other ways, but this is really my way. You know, this is my outlet. This is how I transmute and alchemize the kind of what was once repressed energy. And that's what it's felt like in my body recently. Like I've been dealing with a lot of repressed energy because I've had this inspiration to share, but then the heart will just go, no. Like my heart center, you know, a wound deep in my heart center will go, no, not ready. Too scared, too scary. And so I've been honoring that, but it's almost like, how much do I honor that? Like where's the least, or where's the most amount of good done after a while? Like, do I keep honoring that? And then my body just gets really full of repressed energy. And I feel like I don't have a place to, like, I can only do so much yoga. I can only do so much journaling, you know? And it's not like I want to go to some group and share it. It's like, no, my body wants to do this. This is what it was designed to do, in a sense. Like, this is how I was designed to move energy, by speaking into this camera. You know, I can go out and socialize, and that can kind of move it, but it's like, this is the ultimate way for me to move energy. And so I've been going through that inner conflict, and today I've been feeling it extra intensely. Feeling like this masculine energy just like wants to come forward, and it just wants to make videos all day long because there's so much built up energy from like me not posting for so long because I was really just staying with the wound in my heart and being like, all right, it's too scared. We're gonna honor that. We're not gonna share. And even for a while when I was sharing, I had to like make it so no comments would come in because I've gotten in. When you go deep enough into your heart center, you get in touch with some very tender and delicate places. And so life can be a bit more challenging for a while as you navigate reconnecting with those places. Because it's like that inner child, that infant. It's like, oh my God, you want to hold them so softly, and you want to make sure they don't get hurt at all. And you deepen into this new depth of sensitivity and kind of fragileness. Like, I hadn't felt so fragile and sensitive to other people's opinions in so long. You know, I was so sensitive, I had to, like I said, turn comments off. Sometimes I would even delete certain hurtful comments that were trying to cause me harm, just to kind of show this wound in me that I got your back. You know, I'm going to put up boundaries here. Like, that person doesn't get to comment anymore. So I had to like do things for that part of my heart. We're on a conscious level, you know, I've been doing this long enough. God knows how many vulnerable videos I've made. It's on the most conscious level, it's like, okay, almost nothing's gonna touch me. But when you're deep into your heart center, and that is you too, when the depths of your heart is you, when you go all the way in there and you feel what's waiting for you there, it's like, oh my God, all of a sudden it's like you're a newborn again. And you're like, oh, people, oh, opinions about me scary, ouch, ouch, ouch. And you feel everything. And so it's been this like new space I've been in as a human, like trying to kind of learn how to live this deep in my heart center, this sensitive again, this kind of fragile temporarily again. And like I said, there's always the conscious higher self aspects here kind of holding that fragile one. So we're not like totally, I'm not like totally identified with it. I'm holding it, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling its pain. And it's been a 24/7 thing. And it's just hurting because it's hurt. It's just terrified because it's terrified. It just cries sometimes because it wants to cry. And so I've been with it, so unified with it, so wed with it. And I've really, really, really been doing everything to protect it. So I was trying to share it with like no comments for a while. And then I was just like, okay, this part just needs a break from sharing, period. And falling in love with that part. And it was a beautiful break. It was like our honeymoon. It was like I got to fall in love with this new depth in my heart, this new pain in my heart that I didn't have access to before. And I've been through a lot of deep heartbreaks on the path too, and every heartbreak takes me deeper into a layer of myself. It's kind of the path of Rumi. What's Rumi say? Keep letting your heart break until it eventually breaks open, something like that. And so I feel like mine is really breaking open, but I'm telling you, and my path has been so much like Sufism, it's so much a heart-centric path that it's just like I've penetrated so deeply within my heart center. And what's waiting for us there at the core is just this like unimaginable existential like grief and pain, but also love and oneness. And it's just, you have both polarities, right? The deeper you go into something, the more polarity you'll discover there. The deeper you go into joy, like the more you'll discover sadness. The deeper you go into fear, the more you'll discover inspiration and excitement. The deeper you go into anger, the deeper you'll discover power. And so going this deep into my heart center has been like such an unfurling and an unfolding and like a new way of living of like, oh my gosh, I have to be a parent to this part a lot. And I have to have such good energetic boundaries because it's so tender. And that's new for me because for years, I was just fucking so wide open. So just boundaries, what are those? Like, what do I need boundaries? I'm on fire. Anything that comes into my field just burns up, And so this has been a new way of living of where I've had to kind of be a protective parent. And so that's meant like not being able to share as much, but I'm starting to feel like so much of like repressed energy in my body from not doing this, because this is what I do, that I'm having to find a balance now of being like with the little one, like, hey, I know you're so scared, but I promise you, I love you so much, no matter what anyone says, and I got your back. And I've spent so much time with this deep, you could say, ache in the heart, this little one, that it is starting to trust me more. I'm starting to make decisions that it feels more safe with. So it's starting to feel held. And I think that's why I'm here sharing all of these videos with you now, is because my sacred heart space is starting to feel okay with it. Where when it wasn't okay with it, I could not bypass my own heart. I could not bypass this layer of myself that I wasn't previously in contact with. This very scared and fragile layer. But now it's like, I think the body's firing up so much because the body's sensing like, okay, this part of the heart's starting to become more, just more safe with sharing finally, and more safe with maybe interacting more. Like I went a while, I wasn't really responding to comments. Maybe I'd read them, maybe I wouldn't, but I wasn't responding. And today I started looking at comments. I responded to one. I started this new group, and that felt like from the heart, this new Facebook group. And that feels fun, and I'm excited to really engage over there. And so that's starting to come back online. So what I'm noticing is there's elements of safety that are starting to come to the surface that I've been cultivating with this part of me. And it feels good that it's starting to feel safe enough for me to start showing up, because I love showing up. I love being seen. I love expressing. I love being raw. And actually with this part, for a while, I wasn't able to be as raw or as vulnerable, because this part was like, hell no, we're not. I can't do it, man. I need you to protect me. It was really clear about that. I need boundaries right now. But as it's feeling safer, because it's learned deep with, like this part is learned so fully that I got its back, I'm here. Because I literally don't leave this part all throughout the day. I never leave this part. It's my primary experience every day is being wed to this part, is being in union with this part, breathing love into it, feeling its pain, because everything within us just wants to be felt. And so I've been allowing myself to feel its pain all day and making it my primary purpose, like just being with it, soothing it, holding it in a like a loving softness. And then whatever else is happening has just been like a secondary thing. And I've just been allowing all of my life force to really go to this part that's just felt so abandoned, so neglected. And it feels so prior even to life. It feels so deep and beyond even this lifetime. And it's actually a portal into a new type of oneness, a new dimension of love, a new dimension of relational understanding. It's actually a portal into cultivating a new softness of presence, a deeper sort of understanding of those who are in pain, a deeper compassion for those who feel very sensitive, for those who feel very fragile. One of the people in my family, I don't know if they want me to even talk about trying to see, this is a new understanding too. Do they even want to be in this world, right? Let's just say I had a beautiful opportunity to meet a newborn recently. And I felt so connected to this newborn. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I know what this newborn is. I know what they're feeling in a sense. I was just like with them because I was connected to like the 1-year-old in my own heart. That's it. I've gotten connected to the 1-year-old in my own heart. So I know a 1-year-old now. You know, I know that infancy, that vulnerability, that fragility, but that glowing, radiant light. And it's like that curiosity, and it was like magnificent. I felt so merged with this 1-year-old that I just recently had a chance to meet. And that's because I've gotten merged with the 1-year-old inside of me. And that's how the layers go, guys. Is like we just get in contact with younger and younger aspects of ourselves, and then we get in contact with what's even prior to that, and we all can have a different word for that. But that's been my life, is just being with this heart center, being with this pain and this love and this sensitivity and this part that needs me to go so slow. And I've been doing my best to honor it, because sometimes I like to do quick. I like to go fast because it's fun. Fast moving energies are fun, right? But I've been letting myself go so slow. But today I feel like that kind of inner conflict, and it wasn't a conflict. After a while, it wasn't a conflict. I was just so okay with not posting. And I talked about that a couple of videos back. And I just surrendered the desire. I said, okay, now is not the time. Now is the time to come into full union with this aspect of myself, with this new depth, with this layer of myself that I hadn't had a chance to meet before. And that was so exciting. It was like, oh, more of me, yay. What could be more important? But as this new layer is starting to heal, I can feel the life force saying, all right, it's time. And sometimes we have to, like, we move into things a little bit before, we might not ever feel totally ready. Maybe you do, but I've had it in many cases where it feels a bit scary when we move back into, like, okay, we're going back into this raw openness, this vulnerability with this new layer on board, and feeling like we're not shutting down there, we're still staying open. And that can feel a bit scary at first, but if it's the right time, you'll be held there, you'll be supported there, and yeah, it'll be helpful. Like, I can feel like the videos I'm making today are really helping move energy through, and this one's starting to feel, like I said, a lot safer with it. And yeah, so excited. And it's like bringing him along, you know, bringing him along. Just because I'm making videos now doesn't mean this one deep within gets abandoned. No, it's like staying right with him, and we're going to live our dharma, so that we can feel, you know, it just feels better in the body to be aligned with life. And there was a period there where it felt so good not sharing, because I was perfectly in alignment for a while. But I think now if I still, I think we can get sometimes a little overprotective at a certain point where we're like, the fear can stop us, or the inner critic, when it's time. And I've just been kind of listening to the cues within, and it's a refinement, it's a learning, right? We're all doing our best with this to meet our wounded parts while still showing up. A lot of you probably have that in your work, whatever that is. It's like, wow, feeling so much, but I gotta go in and show up for whatever it is today. And that's part of being a human. And we gotta find that balance of when it's time to just, you know, be kind of in the void, in the nothingness. And then when sometimes we have to move in to life again, even though we're still feeling quite sensitive, quite raw. And so it's just kind of a beautiful experience we're having here, and we're all doing our best. And I just kind of wanted to walk you through what I've been going through and how I'm approaching it. And there's just a lot of energy today, and it just feels really good to let it keep coming through. And I hope maybe it can help some of you in some way. So thanks for being here. Thanks for the donations. Thank you for joining the Facebook group, the Patreon. Of course, I'm always so honored to meet with you guys in sessions. It's always such a joy to do that. I also have scholarship sessions. I also have scholarship sessions for those of you who are wanting to connect but can't afford my regular rate. That is available for the time being. So yeah, I love connecting in that way too. Gives me access to help more of you, right? And yeah, all right. Sending you guys the highest blessings and so much love. Namaste.